Water levels are incredibly low for this time of year. We're halfway through the dry season. Water levels right now are 2 to 3 feet lower than they were this time last year, all along the Withlacoochee River. I'm Dr. Mark Fulkerson, a Chief Professional Engineer with the Southwest Florida Water Management District. I've been studying the Withlacoochee River, the Green Swamp, this whole region for the past 20 years. Well, here's how high the flooding was from Hurricane Milton back in 2024. You can see the mark on the trees. This is kind of a signature of how high that water got. When we look at what happened over the past year, we really didn't have a wet season in 2025. We came after a very high flood from Hurricane Milton the previous year to very low rainfall in 2025. And so without that wet season really giving us the boost to water levels, we kind of entered the dry season already where we normally are at the end of a dry season. All of our regions, rivers, lakes, ponds, wetlands, creeks, even the aquifer, they're all dependent upon rainfall. So rainfall is the source of the water to these systems, and really that's the input. Without it, we're going to see water levels drop. When we get surplus rainfall, we're going to see water levels rise no matter where you are. In the past 30 years, we've had about 4 extreme drought conditions, and they've come, about every 7 years or so on average. We've seen an extreme drought, and it's been about 9 years since we've had one. So, it seems like this year, coming into 2026, is going to be another one of those extremely dry years. This time of year, we're in water conservation mode with our water control structures. So we're doing everything we can to hold water in our lakes, to prevent it from dropping even lower. Just because we have a water control structure on a lake doesn't mean we can prevent that water level from dropping if it's not raining. Lakes are gonna leak down to the aquifer. They're also gonna evaporate every single day that we don't get any rain. Typically, coming through the winter, we don't see water levels drop tremendously because temperatures are cooler, we don't have a ton of evaporation, the trees and plants aren't growing, sucking that water out. But once we hit the spring months, once we get into March, April, and May, that's really where we see a sharp decline in water levels, and really where we're starting already this low with water levels, it could be a drastic low condition this year. Normally mid-June is about where our summer rains kick in, but for many of our water resources, for the aquifer, for our rivers, for our lakes, it's going to take a while before we really start seeing water levels rise. We've got to see a lot of accumulated rain to get to that point. But these low water conditions are a cycle. We see it periodically in history. We're going to see very high water times as well. Things will change. We will see wetter conditions in the future. Exactly when that happens, it's hard to say. It all depends on the rainfall.